As you set out on your path to become a blacksmith, sooner or later you're going to need some tongs. And the longer you work at blacksmithing, the more tongs you're going to acquire. I probably have close to 100 pairs, all of them a little bit different, all of them with their own special purpose. And tongs that exactly fit the stock you're working with are the best. General purpose tongs generally tend to be poor at everything. The question at hand today is, should you make your own tongs or should you buy ready-made tongs? Now, while I'm an advocate for making your own tongs, I think it's a skill every blacksmith needs to have, there's a really valid argument for beginners to buy tongs. If you're just starting off in your journey to be a blacksmith and you haven't even learned to make simple projects like S-hooks, bottle openers, things like that, and you need tongs to make the S-hooks, the bottle openers, and all these other really cool little projects that are popular as a beginning blacksmith and great skill builders, it's better to buy tongs and start. For one thing, making a decent pair of tongs when you are just starting to develop your skills is probably more than you want to try and tackle. It's a lot of work to do a good job and probably not going to come out real good. And if you don't know what good tongs look like and feel like and how they work, you're not going to know if you made a good pair of tongs. So buying ready-made tongs gives you good tongs to work with. You start to learn what to expect from them, how they hold, how they function. You can examine them when you start to make your own tongs to see what the relationship between the reins and the boss and the jaw are. And it's going to help you make better tongs in the long run once you start making tongs. Now, if you're not a beginner, but you've got limited time in the shop, or if you're in business and your time needs to be spent making a profit, sometimes buying tongs is more cost-effective, because you can buy a pair of good tongs, box jaw tongs, pickup tongs, whatever it is you need, for around $40, $45 in some cases. Sometimes it's going to be more like $60 depending on where you're buying and what you're looking for. But when you're in business and it takes you 2 or 3 hours to make a comparable pair of tongs, you're probably money ahead just buying the tongs, because you've got a lot of overhead and time that could be spent making customer products for a profit instead of buying those tools. Now, where do you buy tongs? A great source just happens to be today's sponsor, Blacksmith Supply. And Blacksmith Supply is a dealer for Tom Tongs. Tom Tongs were designed by the late Tom Clark. Blacksmith Supply is now carrying those, and they come in all sorts of varieties. Almost all of the box jaw tongs I have in my shop are Tom Tongs. These pickup tongs that I use for handling big stuff, quenching, working under the power hammer, they're a pair of Tom Tongs. They make round bit tongs, wolf jaw tongs, V-bit tongs. Just about anything you need they have, and the need to make tongs doesn't really happen too often if you're buying them. Now, I often still make my own, either because I feel like it or I want something a little bit special purpose, or I don't have the time to wait for them to come in the mail. Now, if you're interested in buying tongs or anything else from Blacksmith Supply, there's a link in the video description along with a coupon code that'll get you 5% off just about anything in their shop, treadle hammers being at least one exception. When it comes to what style of tongs you should buy, it just depends on what you're working on. This style of tongs won't work if you're just working in 1/4-inch square bar making simple S-hooks, and if you're making bottle openers out of flat stock, a pair of box jaw tongs designed to fit that size flat stock are the ideal thing. And these tongs should last several generations of blacksmith as long as you don't abuse them too badly. I do hope you got something out of this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, I would love it if you hit that subscribe button down there. It costs nothing to subscribe to a YouTube channel. If you're interested in longer, more detailed videos about blacksmithing, those are available on the main Black Bear Forge channel. I'll link to it right up here, and I'll also link to a video on making your own tongs right down here. In the meantime, I hope you have time in your day to get out to your shop, make something, but stay safe, wear your safety glasses. We'll see you for the next video.